Hello and welcome to Miniature Rounds and welcome to Epic Battles ACW vlog number 10. I think since I put vlog number 9 out, I've not done as much as I'd wanted to. I've had an awful lot of real work on, so I've been painting finishing off some AOS and some Abdectus Titanicus commissions. I've really struggled to get much time on my own hobby, but I did do a little bit here and there, and we'll cover that later in this little vlog. But today's been a good shopping day. I think I hinted in the last video that there's going to be lots of videos soon because Wave 2 will be out, and I think no sooner as I put the last vlog up, the first people started posting pictures in a couple of the Epic Battles groups, and there has been some unboxings online over the weekend. It looks like some of the American guys got their hands on their stuff a day or two before the rest of the world. I think that's just the way it works with shipping and things like that at the moment. I had some exciting dispatch notes yesterday, and today some things have arrived. So the first thing that's arrived isn't from Warlord Games, something I hinted at the other day. I'm not doing an unboxing here, I'm just showing you what I've got through the post, just showing you new toys. But essentially some things have turned up from Sarissa Precision. So first packet from Sarissa Precision. The first thing is a North American Manassas house. It's a bit glary because of the plastic on there. So 15mm MDF buildings. I'll do proper unboxings of these things as I build them. And then I bought, they've basically bundled together some of the stuff they've already done for Warlord. Some of it's kind of new stuff as well, so you've got kind of good access to those things. Just make that a little bit duller so you can see it. So some of the rail fences, which you've already seen, I'm going to build these slightly differently. And then we've got North American Dunkers Church. Again, will be really interesting in comparison with the 3D print that I've already painted and showed you in the last one I got from Ralph. There's a North American covered bridge as part of the set. This is an Antietam set. And the Manassas house was I think the only extra thing, and then there was a bridge in the bundle as well. When it looks like from this, it was originally part of it looks like a kit they already made. I wasn't aware of this, but so a triple arch stone bridge. It's modular, so you can buy it in separate parts. But so that's the Antietam set. So I'm looking forward to building those, and I'll do it kit by kit and give you a bit of a review like I have done with the other Sarissa Precision kits on the channel. But yeah, that'll be cool. I definitely want to get building the snake fences and making them slightly different. I think in the last vlog I talked a little bit about the way they go together, using these little holes, and I'm going to make them a little bit more of a shallow angle, just so that they work a little bit better at the scale of battle I'm playing, really. So that's the first thing out of the way. So a nice package from Sarissa Precision. They did say they were going to give me something free or something extra in the box on my Instagram. They messaged me, so maybe they've forgotten. Maybe I'll be cheeky and message them and remind them the box arrives from Warlord Games. And we have new goodies. So we have Iron Brigade, Cavalry Brigade, Zouave Brigade, and then the casualty markers, and it looks like I've got the free Hail Caesar book figure. Well, that's not really relevant to this, so we'll get that out of the way. So I'm not going to do unboxings now. Would seem to be a little bit silly. And I'll do them individually and make them more bite-sized videos. Not everyone that will get something from the unboxing will want to sit and watch these longer vlogs, or I think a lot of the people who are watching these vlogs are invested in watching my little journey into Epic Battles ACW and building towards the Antietam game that I'm planning, and among other things. So I don't want to turn this into a 45-minute unboxing video. This will remain a vlog. But what I will do is just address a couple of things that I've seen talked about. So firstly, these aren't resin, and when they were originally advertised they were going to be resin, I don't know all the details behind it. I only know the hearsay I've seen in the groups, but it looks like there's a letter being sent out with some people. I had no letter in my box, no covering letter, a letter explaining that due to manufacturing issues that they were changed to metal. I think some of the things I've seen, other pictures I've seen, there's been a sticker on the front saying metal. These maybe a little bit further down the line, there's actually a sticker over the contents there that actually says metal, and that's the same on each of these boxes. So that's the first thing. I'm actually quite happy about that. I think originally, before I'd received anything, I would have been disappointed. I would have said, oh, I really want the resin because I want the light up. I prefer plastic miniatures and things. But having cleaned up the resin limited edition Lee and Mead models, they were a real pain in the bum. A real pain in the bum to clean up, and even once I've cleaned them up, there were still bits that I just couldn't remove, and you can see it when I painted it. It made me cringe. So actually cleaning up the metal is going to be easier, so I'm actually happy. I don't know whether they're going to stay metal, whether they're going to keep them in metal now or not, I don't know, but I thought it was interesting. And something else I've been thinking a little bit more about is, are people happier with the price now they're metal, or is it something that's still a little bit controversial, so to speak? So it's potentially a controversial topic, but I don't actually have too much of a problem with the price of these. Maybe wave 3 that's a little bit more questionable, but and as I said, I'm not going to do an unboxing now, but these cavalry are all individual. They're not in strips, so they're individual cavalry. So if you can compare them with the Callistra models and the Peter Pig models, see, they can all work within the same sort of space. And if you can start comparing the prices, it's quite interesting. So the cavalry work out at 67 pence each for the Warlord ones. It's much cheaper for Callistra at 38 pence, and the Peter Pig ones, 15mm, work out at 88 pence each. So maybe it's a little unfair that that there's a lot of talk, shall we say, around the pricing on them. I don't think that they're completely out of whack, especially now they're metal and fully comparable. With their resin and hard to clean up, then that may be different. It's just a personal opinion, but I do feel that you get a lot of jumping on the bandwagon of Warlord this, Warlord that, and they do make mistakes. I've seen that already in my short sort of time buying their products, relatively short time buying their products. The inventory is slightly different. So the inventory in metal, if you go per model, per miniature, I know they're in strips, but for the purposes of comparison, we have to compare them as individual men. They're 13 pence each. I believe my maths are right. So they're £40 divided by the 300 models, and that makes them 13 pence each. And Callistra 19 pence, and Peter Pig 43 pence. That's what they would be for their 15mm. So can we say that they're too expensive? I think they're more expensive, yes, than the plastic ones, absolutely, which are even cheaper. And now that they're in metal, and if they were to stay in metal and stay at these prices, and this is based on the £40 RRP, I don't know, I was just thinking about it this morning when I was in the shower, thinking, you know what, I wonder how expensive they are, and I got my calculator out, and I've probably made a mistake with it there, make myself look really stupid, but I'm pretty sure, and I'm going to do it again, £40 divided by the 300 men in a box, and that gives you 13 pence, which is cheaper than Callistra, which is 19 pence, because you get 32, I believe, in a pack for £3.50. 32, maybe not, maybe I've got it wrong, but around that kind of price. So I may be a penny out here or there, but I think they're fairly good value. And that's probably all I need to say about the pricing of them. We'll all make our own minds up about what relative value they are. Callistra will work out cheaper in many ways, but I'm quite happy with them, to be honest with you. And I've said before that I prefer the sculpts to the Callistra ones, and when I do full unboxings of these, I'm sure it'll be the same. let's so the markers, these were the free things. They're okay, they look quite cool. Whether I would have spent £12 on them had they not been free as part of the bundle, maybe not. I'd have probably made my own or done something else with them. And I've got another pack of them coming as well with a later bundle, which I got them for free. I'm looking at maybe the idea of, because I got the numbers printed on there, maybe filing the number away, see if I can find some small miniature metal dice and putting a magnet on there or something to be able to turn the dice over, and then they should go an awful lot further then, rather than needing to change them each time. But that's just a basic idea. Anyway, one final thing I want to do before I kind of show you what I've been up to this week, I'm just going to cut away and bring back a size comparison with the Iron Brigade, the Zouaves, and the new and the existing plastic, because again, something else I saw in one of the Warlord groups is that the Iron Brigade were giants, the Zouaves were size of kids, and the plastics were somewhere in the middle. And then I saw another post the other day, and they didn't look that different. So the cellophane's still on these. I'm going to take the cellophane off camera, just get one little strip out of each things and just compare them slightly, and just sort of come back and talk about that a little bit. And there we are. I'm not going to get any measuring devices out. I'm not going to go that crazy. It would be easy to do. I would say that that is nothing like the perception I had from one picture shared in one of the groups. And to completely defend the poster of that, they weren't trying to cause any controversy. They just did it so people could see. But the comments afterwards got a little bit crazy. And I think that in the picture that they weren't quite level. I think one of the Iron Brigade side was a millimetre up on the bottom of the base, and you could see that, and it did look like it was the Zouaves were boys, and I don't know what it is, but looking at there, they are incredibly similar. If anything, I would say that both sets of metals were slightly chunkier, ever so slightly chunkier than the plastic, but minimal. And the same way as, we compare people who are using Callistra in their armies, and I would say that they are slightly fuller in figure because of the way they're sculpted. But the height is very, very similar there. So I would say there was a very, very, very tiny increase in the size of the Zouaves and the Iron Brigade over the plastics, but there is very, very little in it whatsoever. And if we place them together, it definitely doesn't look like the one image I saw, and maybe it was down to a particular sprue. So I know I've not unboxed anything else. I've opened 2 bags in those boxes, and taken out what luckily was the command part of both, and they seem to match. It may well be when I do the full unboxings and review that I change my mind on it a little bit, but my first impressions are that there isn't a scale problem or a very, very slight one there. So yeah, I've not got an issue with that at all. I think that looks pretty good. So in fact, I thought I'd just, while I've got them lined up, just add a couple of Callistra to the mix there, so you see them lined on the end there. If anything, the Callistra look a little bit smaller in that image. There's such a small amount between any of them, and it will vary on the sculpt, etc, etc, but I still think they're all comparable, and I'm having to look really hard. So yes, if maybe in their build they are slightly larger on the new ones, but it's so minimal, I'm not concerned about it whatsoever. For me, a bit of a red herring there. Right, I suppose when I've got this camera facing this angle, let's have a little look at the new cavalry next to a Callistra. And there we go. So this is your Warlord Medal cavalry. This is your Peter Big. This is your Callistra. I still maintain that the horses, in my opinion, are a little bit too small on the Callistra. Very comparable. No surprise, because we've already reviewed the Peter Pig stuff and how well it compares for the generals. These are the general packs. How well they compare with the existing plastic commanders, and the existing resin commanders, etc. So no surprise there that they seem to compare well as well. So pretty happy with that. Let's put in, it's one of my slightly converted ones, but if I pop in the plastic commander as well, for me, I maintain that's what I'll be doing and sticking with the Peter Pig stuff. It'll be really interesting to see If I pick up any other Peter Big bits, I don't think I need any of the inventory or anything anyway, but judging by the scale of the cavalry, I might be tempted to look at the limbers and maybe some artillery alternatives there. I've heard that the infantry seem a bit on the big side, which may well prove to be true, looking at how well Callistra infantry seems to compare with the Warlord stuff. So it'll be interesting, but I may well pick up a few more bits. But anyway, thought as part of the vlog more than the unboxing I would go into that in a little bit of detail, because that's a little bit beyond and above and beyond what I wanted to do on the unboxings, just to keep them short or so. And this is more of a me rambling on kind of thing, which if you've watched all of these you know I'm good at. Anyway, let's next thing I'll do now, we'll cut away and I'll come back and I'll show you the little bit of hobby that I have been doing since we last spoke. I suppose rather tenuously hobby related. You may notice the table's the other way around. I had a little bit of a switch around in the room. The table's quite hard to get around. It was very thin on either side, so by making you feel seasick here, those of you who watched the tour of the office, I just flicked that end table around, so I've got a bit of a U going on rather than a really, really long table, which did mean sometimes, because my chair wouldn't scoot on the carpet, that I'd have to get up to reach the keyboard, which is ridiculous. But anyway, back to the table. And here we are back looking at the table, surprise, surprise. So a lot of the chatter from me last time was about how to deal with the roads, and whether to sort of just use fencing or whether to add something on. And I will admit that I'd already started work on a solution before many of you had replied and left me some really good advice. So thank you everyone who did comment. Please don't let that put you off doing comments in the future. I think I came up with an idea, and whether it wrecked the mat or not, I was going to do it, and I did decide in the end to airbrush. Actually use contrast wildwood, but I airbrushed gently on the mat. I'd marked it gently out with chalk first, airbrushed it on, and then I finished off with Vallejo European mud. So I sort of go in a little bit closer and have a little look. Ignore the unpainted fences and things that are on there. Hopefully we can get this to sort of focus in, so you get the idea. More dirt track rather than road. I'm happy with it. I suppose that's the main thing. I do appreciate the comments about don't need the roads. They would have been very kind of overgrown. I think Ralph said, look at Sunken Road and what that would have been like, and that might have been quite grassy for a while. It would have been muddy with all the troops there. So I went for this kind of dirt road thing. I think that was a good kind of halfway house. I've changed out some of the fields. I've got a couple more carpet tiles and made them look, so I took some of the more colourful ones out. I've trimmed the edges off some of them that were a little bit rounded at the edges, because I think it just looked a bit poor. I did pick up some new fence. This cheap fence here from someone on eBay. I would share the seller's name. They were okay, but what was in the packet didn't match the description, and I very politely sent a message saying, look, I'm not unhappy with it, I don't want a refund, but you're supposed to have 5 of this, 5 of this, 5 of this, etc, etc, and you've got 1 extra of these and 1 of those. Just maybe be a little bit more careful about what you're putting in the packet, because it was just all slug in a bit of a cardboard box. It wasn't even a cardboard box really, it was just sort of folded over a piece of cardboard, taped up. Came extremely quickly, and it was good value, and it's fine, but their reply was a bit kind of almost, if you don't like it, send it back then, which is a bit of a shame. But hey ho, I don't feel ripped off. I feel like I've got enough, but I won't be ordering more. But it's a different kind of fence on there anyway. You've just seen I've got more snake fencing that has arrived, so where they're placed on the table at the moment is purely mucking around, and this table won't stay up. The idea is to play some other games and things now we're allowed in other people's houses in the UK. I've just sort of had the luxury of just being able to leave it up and slowly tinker with it, but it will go away long before the game's actually played. So I'll play around with the fences around on some of the roads. The map sort of would suggest that the fences go on either side. I think there'll be too much terrain on the table if I do that, so I'm going to kind of have them in some places to signify it, but not in all, just to give a bit of a feeling. And then I was looking at other buildings, and you can see these unpainted buildings on the table at the moment. Those are from, I'm going to see if I can find the name of the company. I did buy them on eBay, but I follow someone on Instagram, a resin terrain maker, who I believe may have made them. They look recognisable with the stuff, so I think it might have been his eBay or hers eBay page. So I will, if I can find the name, I will pop it on the screen now. And they are the 10mm buildings that you would have seen in an early vlog. And they are the window and the door size matches quite well with the Dunker Church, but they are small in comparison, and they're definitely small in comparison to the Sarissa stuff, which is, I'd say, more pure 15mm. If I grab one in a real shaky cam kind of way, you can see the doorways are actually match fairly well, but it just feels like maybe the footprint feels a little bit small. But I do need to represent, or I'd like to represent, the Miller Farm, which is on the top there, past the cornfield in the centre. Down here would be the Mummer Farmstead, which would be a few buildings. Again, if I put them all on there, I think because of the abstract of scale, I think it will make the table look like a village rather than fields with farmsteads spread out. So I've got to be very careful there. So it may just be one building, and I've also got to do a bit of research and find out what time that they were set alight, because there could be a burnt out building, which would be quite fun. And then over the left hand side, as you're looking on the west side of the table, there will be a couple of other farmsteads as well, and I'm trying to remember them off the top of my head. One beginning with a P, he searches, and no doubt, as if by magic, Poffenberger Farm and Timecast Models in the UK actually make a couple of farm buildings for that farm, but whether, again, the size of them and whether two of them to kind of two buildings to represent the farmstead may have put too many buildings on the table, but they are cheap. They are only a few, they're only a few pounds each, for £4, £5 or £6. So I will potentially just purchase them anyway. And I'm also looking at a couple of buildings from hovels, so I will pick up a few more before I paint them and make my final decisions. But I will probably represent them something similar to what you can see on the table there now. Anyway, I did add a bit of European mud to the bottom of the tree bases. Need to add some flock and things like that. But we are, slowly chipping away. I've got to build the rest of my snake fencing, paint up the new fences, and then work out where they're going to go. And I think on the map across this part of the field where I'm pointing now was hastily erected sort of barricades and things, so it would be some zigzag fencing, some snake fencing with extra bit of wood and things chucked on to represent that. So mucking around with it. It will have to be cleared away before I've got to take some pictures of some stuff I've painted soon. I'm going to use that from photography, so it will need to be cleared away at some point. But it's been out this last week since I recorded the last vlog. In the 20 minutes I've had here or there to do a tiny bit of personal hobby, that's what I've done really. So I've done the roads, I suppose. Not much of an update, but I've got some new cool toys. So anyway, I'm going to let you go there. It's still going to end up being a good 20-minute plus vlog video, even though I've done very little actual hobby. Coming out pretty shortly after these will be 3 unboxing videos, maybe even 4 unboxing videos, where I unbox the new Wave 2 stuff and do a proper review of them. And then after that I will get to work on the Sarissa Precision stuff for unboxing videos and builds on those as well. So plenty more content ACW related. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll catch you soon.